Good morning.
Good morning.
We're back.
We are. And we almost have a Sith kitty with us.
Oh, I see a tail. That's all I can see.
Yeah. He's here.
Oh, there he is. Oh, pretty boy.
And now he's gonna run away and go, remind me of his food dish that's over
Yeah.
here. Why
Great.
have you not filled that again this morning?
Yeah. I need more food now.
I can see a smidge of the bottom. Fix it.
Yeah.
Well, hello everybody. We are back. It's supposed to be what, a decent day out today?
I think so. I mean, I don't think it's going to be real warm, which is fine, but it's going to be pretty, I think.
Might have to close my windows and turn the air on.
I think we'll be good. I don't think we'll need air for the rest of the week. It's supposed to be cool all week.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
The one little downside of this little apartment is because it's like ranches that face one another, there's no good breeze that comes in from, the east side. So just kind of sits in the parking lot, doesn't move.
Right.
Well, hello, everyone. Sith Kitties, he will try to love on you to death. He's very much a snuggler. Unless he wants food, and then he's a runner to the food bowl over.
The only time he moves fast, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. So anybody that might be new joining us, feel free. Hey, Holly and Lisa, some of our local people. Feel free to ask questions about earthbound spirits, negative energy, portals, fairies, Loch Ness Monster. What else, Marian? What else have you surprised us with?
We'll do that. That's good. We should mention the book club before we forget. It's on this month. It'll be on Tuesday, which is the third Tuesday of the month. It'll be on the 21st at 7:00. And our book is Walk in the Shadows. And the author is going to be there, which is really cool because you'll be able to ask him questions. And apparently he's going to have his other books there too. So that's good. So come in and the book is interesting. You should read it and come on in and get involved. It's a pretty interesting book.
I've almost have it done. Hey, Ben's one of our readers, and so is Doc Mystical. Marian, I think you've gotten to talk to Mike before. He was the gentleman that comes to the winery with the handlebar mustache. You remember him and the steampunk hat? No. No.
Many people, Melissa, they just file by.
You don't remember everyone that you ever meet?
No, I can't. What's worse though is when somebody comes up to me with a really attractive 21-year-old young lady, and the young girl go, "Do you recognize me?" It's like, no, sorry. Well, I was 4 when you saw me last. Oh, that. Right. Yeah, that's right.
No, but Doc Mystical and actually Ben. And Ben says you were at his house before. Where did it go? Just some of the readers that are going to be with us down at the winery this Saturday.
Oh, that's good.
But you'll be with us at the winery in September when it's a little bit cooler.
Right.
Let's see. Yep, there we go. Yeah.
Once a year with all the spirits there. That's good for me.
That's right.
Drinking and or otherwise.
Yeah, define the spirits that were there.
That's right. That's exactly right.
And Karen says she's about halfway through the book. Hopefully you've got some good talking points. I've got a few flags in the book myself to bring up. Hey, Cindy, we got a few people on Instagram. We're not
really funny because I did a house yesterday and their son sees shadow people all over the house.
Mm.
And I said, "Oh, this would be the time for you to come to this book club because this is the man that knows all about them." So,
Oh, and Ben says, you did such an amazing job. We had a team that came attached to some music equipment that his brother had bought.
well, I'm glad it all worked out, Ben.
Yeah. What book? So, Marion, can you hold up that book
Sure.
again for Instagram? So, A Walk in the Shadows is the book that we will be discussing this month, which is, I think it's on the 17th. My phone is also, my calendar is doing
No, the 21st.
21st. Okay.
Tuesday, the 21st.
So on the 21st, if you're local, you can come for free, discuss the book, meet the author, see Marianne in person. Otherwise, we will be streaming this on our YouTube page, and you can join us there, ask questions, make comments, recommendations. So if you're looking for, a book club you like reading and of the woo-woo topics, this might be the book club to come join in. So it'll be fun, but A Walk in the Shadows. A fun fact, he is a local author to the North Olmsted area. So
Which is really cool when you can get somebody local.
yeah.
Plus, we still need some ideas for some books. We've got a good list so far, but we would like some more ideas. So
Yes, I do have the list. And Marianne, I was going to talk with you before we're done, or we can, even
Yeah.
text later. Because I know we were leading to maybe to do with like reincarnation or past lives type stuff.
Right.
So I can get them in time for the next book club. The book is available in store, Ben. I've got about 7 copies left on the shelf. So if you're local, you can come in and grab it. We also have it on our website. So if you need us to ship it to you, we can do that for you as well. But he'll have his other books there. Because I know he's got a few other ghost hunting books throughout the states and stuff. So he's a very pleasant person, very easy to talk to. Is the 21st also the summer solstice? Pretty
Yes,
close.
Very, very close, right?
It's usually around the 21st through the 23rd.
Right.
So are the ghosts going to be more active on the solstices?
Anytime there is any kind of an astrological occurrence between, eclipses and fall, summer, all of that, anything like that to do with the heavens and the stars, they do get more energy. I don't know why. I wish I did, but I don't. And it just has something to do with the phases of everything.
Let's see. Trying to catch up on some comments here. Everybody kind of asking. Here's some more good mornings. And Brooke or Karen, Brooke wants to know if you're enjoying the book so far. It would be cool to do a book on shamanism, like an introduction and overview kind of book. I mean, we could do that at some point, but it would also, we would have to be a little more specific of what kind of cultural shamanism. There's more than one kind.
Right. And that is something that I am not at all familiar with. I know people that, oh my God, he's back.
That's right.
I know
Yes.
people that are shamans, but how they got to that point, I don't have any knowledge on that. So hopefully if we find somebody that wrote a book about it, they're local, we can bring them in. Oh my God, Lewis. Yeah, just don't sneak out, Lewis.
I know. Lewis, are you done with school now? We were all, kind of rooting for you the last few weeks, knowing that you were probably at the end of the school year in your projects that you're trying to turn in. So maybe shamanism has to do with earthbounds. That can still be tricky because each tradition is going to treat them a little differently, call them something different. That might take some investigative work.
Right. I have to say, I would equate the word shaman with the word doctor. There's an orthopedic doctor, there's a surgeon, there's all kinds of categories of doctors. And I think the same is true with a person that is a shaman. I think they are schooled in something very specific according to their culture. So it's like, sure, we'll have a doctor come in. Let's see, there's 85 different kinds of doctors. Which one do you want? So I think it would be the same thing with the shaman. I think it would be really hard. Um, you had somebody in the store that taught that, correct?
Like a
Or
shaman
you went someplace to learn how to do it.
to what, do shamanism?
Right.
Or yes, the program that I have been through a few times now, it was like 8 to 9 months long.
Oh,
It was a very, very in-depth training.
is that teacher local though?
He is in Ohio. Sometimes though, trying to get him to show up can be a little challenging. And we joke that it's on the shaman time. And usually I have to send him a Facebook message like, don't make me drive down there and get you. And then he'll answer.
Okay.
But he is like a wealth of knowledge.
See, I don't think that from 7 to 8, an hour is going to even, you couldn't even get the lid off a can of worms on that. It's not long enough.
No, especially since this, the Peruvian, and this is like up in the Andes, not the jungle, not where everybody's taking all the drugs. It is kind of a mashup of, the Peruvian and then some of the Spanish customs because of when the Spaniards came in. So there's a little bit of a mashup. And if you want to start dissecting some of all of that down of how and why it is done the way it is, it can be, it's interesting, at least to me, but it can be time consuming.
And that's it. And Native American shamans come from a whole different area. So that's what it would be. I can understand the need for more knowledge on it, but gosh, I don't think an hour book club is going to do it.
No. But that might be something I reach out to him for and be like, hey, can you do?
Well, if we ever decide to do that author thing, I'm sure he's probably written a book or two.
He has, and I usually have.
Might be, like I said, if we ever decide to try to get some Ohio authors in for some kind of a festival, maybe he'll show up for something like that if we ask him.
Or I'll go kidnap him and make him show up.
Oh, there you go. That works too.
I am that person. But yeah, Brooke, that one is pretty big for a book club. That might be like more of a day type thing. How did I find my teacher? Actually through kind of Hank, and Hank, it was popping around in the chat here, Sonic Shaman. He kind of ran in and was like, hey, would you be interested in hosting this guy through the store? And I'm like, sure. And by the end of that first weekend of going out and doing the exercises, I was in. Lewis asked, do the spirits stay because of inheritance, and how does that work? Do they wait around to see what the will says, and are they going to fight about it?
Yeah, but it's not going to do them any good. They're dead. It doesn't make any I mean, but they could find that information out if they go to the light too. I mean, they can just come back and sit there as the lawyer's reading the will. So yeah, they can find all that stuff out.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and like, gosh, it's like, good question. They can't take their money with them. Maybe it keeps them here. Does the greed keep them here?
I have to laugh. I did a funeral, and it was a 60-year-old man that died that was a twin. Oh. And his brother had asked me to go to talk to his twin brother. And their mom was still alive. And the mom came up to me, and the twin brother that was dead just was shaking his head. And I looked at him and I says, what's wrong? He said, my mother just wrote a check out for me for $250,000 and put it in the pocket of my suit in the casket so I could take it with me. Now think about this. It's never going to be cashed. So it's really not going to go out of her account.
True. And
But
I'm thinking of those myth stories where you got to pay the ferryman across,
yeah, and I just stood there and I laughed, and the brother that was alive said, he said, as soon as the mom, I told him what he had did, he says, do you think you could ask my mother if I could have my $250,000 now? I said, no, you ask your mother that. I don't want to know.
Might get your brothers too now at this point because he's never going to cash it.
That's right.
Heather asks, when you see Earthbounds, do they appear as the same age they were when they died, or do they show up looking like they did in their prime, younger years?
No, they look exactly like they did when they died. Now, if they originally weighed average 200 pounds and they had been sick for a long time, they're going to be very thin. But they don't get any older or younger. They stay the same age. Now, if they were missing, say, a leg or something because they were a diabetic, the spirit is whole. The spirit is never missing parts and pieces. So they're whole. But the only difference is they can be thin because of a lengthy illness.
Let's see. Chris says, question about reincarnation. Is the time that we are presently in the only timeline that exists, or can people potentially live their next life sometime in the past or the future?
I don't know. You can get into jumping into different time periods and parallel lives and all of that. As far as I personally am concerned, I think when you get regressed, all you're seeing is the past. Regress means back. I don't know what the word would be to see what your future is. Oh, wait, go see a medium. They might be able to tell you. I don't think they can do that.
Let's see. So how did I start my business? I cheated a little bit. I bought a business that was already in motion, although it was kind of on its way out, and I had to kind of save it and bring it into what it is now. I had been a customer of my own store through the previous owners. And it just so happened when they were looking to sell, I was currently a manager for Borders, and Borders was closing down, and was wondering what else I was going to do when I grew up again in the next adult lifing, and chose to go be my own boss.
Which isn't what it's always cracked up to be, believe me.
No, everybody.
Anybody that owns their own business knows exactly what I'm talking about. What people think and what is real are two totally different things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the biggest misconception I remember was like I was going to have so much more time for myself.
Never.
All right, all my friends in the chat, everybody raise your hand. Put the hand up emoji of how often y'all tell me to quit working, go home, sit down.
Right, exactly.
Go take a nap.
Or when I'm, talking to somebody and they'll go, what, do you have to work today? Can't we go to the show or something? It's like, no, I got 400 people to call back. I got to stay home and work tonight. So yeah.
It's very challenging, and it was scary as hell.
Well, you did a terrific job because I went into that store before you owned it. And,
did you? Okay.
Oh, yeah. I was in there once. And I said once was enough. So, yeah.
I would have to ask which owner. I'm the third owner.
It was the one you bought it from.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. No.
Because the original person, I've heard stories, you either really, really liked them or you really, really didn't, because it was kind of creepy for some people. Right. So,
yeah, I mean, I knew the other people too, but yeah, no, everybody has such a different slant on life. That's all I have
Mhm.
to say.
Yeah, it's and this is an instance, and granted, I'm biased in this because I only did this route one way, but I honestly think I did 1 year of college in accounting and decided I wasn't going to sit behind a desk crunching numbers for somebody else and having to get dressed up to do it every day and be uncomfortable. Went out into the working world. I was going to go back to school. Never did. But I honestly think working my way up through management of a few different companies and watching how they did and what they didn't do, what was their biggest downfalls, what the employee said versus what home office would say. And I think that was a better learning curve of how to run a business than sitting in a classroom and somebody pushing spreadsheets at you and giving you ROI versus expendable income and you
Well,
know.
that's called experience, and that's you. Anything you learn from anything like that, you can apply to yourself, and hopefully do it better than wherever you saw it from the first time. So, no, and
Yeah,
that's how people learn. Not everybody goes to college. It's certainly not necessary.
right, right. Um, so Ben asks, what's the best way to protect yourself when doing a house cleansing? I did one yesterday and got a horrible headache and exhausted afterwards.
You really need to be protected. You should. Okay, Ben, I did your house. Where's your quinceañera?
Oh,
If you had your quinceañera on you, you wouldn't have gotten a headache or been tired because whoever was in that house couldn't have gotten close to you. Now, the house I did yesterday, that's funny, they asked me the same question. So, are you really tired now after I was done with their house? I said, no. I says, I'm not. But think about this, the ghosts don't tire me out. If I do one house at 10 o'clock in the morning and then do a house at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, everybody's asking me the same questions. That's what gets me tired.
it was in his car.
Oh, well, you should have a seed in an envelope in your glove compartment too, Ben.
Let's see.
Remember?
um, it's funny in all of the spiritual work, it's never the spiritual work it's the live humans
That's
that
right.
always
Well, that's the same thing with the store. It's the customers that tire you out, not the inventory. So,
yeah. um and there's just some days where I'm like, I'm gonna go hide back here. I'm not here. If somebody call, I'm not here.
see, that's something I cannot do.
No,
Me,
there's only
myself, and
you.
I. That's right.
There's only you.
Right.
um
Well, Ted takes a lot of the brunt, but still, it's he does a good end run, but it's still some days.
mhm. And Renee says, I had my own business for 10 years and loved it, but there was no such thing as and that's exactly right.
She's right, exactly right. Because I will work on weekends because people can't take off Monday through Friday. The only days they have off are weekends, which
Mm.
means I guess I have to work this weekend. So,
Right. Well, that's why Wednesdays are one of my days off, even though I'm usually kind of like, is this work? Kind of, but not. It's easy.
right.
But like when we get off here, I now would then have to go up to Office Max, for that small business thing for a few hours on my day off.
Right. It's always something.
Right.
Always.
So if you're in North Homestead and want to come say hi, that's where I'll be for a few hours. Come on, kitty cat. So,
And definitely go see Melissa.
right. I won't be able to bring the cat though. He has to stay here. Um, let's see. Well, that was a quick visit. Um, let's see. Oh, Melanie wants, she says she's going to mail you some pictures on Friday. What's the best size prints that she should make them in to mail you?
That's your question, Melissa. I'm assuming she wants those posted.
Um,
for our pictures?
I would say, I mean, your typical, what were they, 4x6, 5x7?
Yeah,
So it should be good enough. I mean, it's easy
a
enough
regular photo, yeah, because you could get it closer or farther.
Let's see. Somebody asked who's a good person to go to for a past life regression, and that kind of depends on where you're at and reviews. If you can find somebody that your friends or family members, colleagues have gone to and had good experiences, word of mouth is always the best.
Yep.
So if you're local to us, we have Maria Cerna. We have another gentleman, but he's still a little spooky on COVID. But Maria can do private sessions that way. She can also do like stop smoking, things for confidence, anxiety, things like that too. So you can use hypnosis not just for past life.
The lady that I recommended for years and years and years just died recently, but she was in her 90s. So, but I think I knew her for 40 years and she was really good.
Let's see, more questions. Anne Marie says, my 3-year-old granddaughter spent the night at my home and saw a man in a bubble looking at her. When she woke up in the morning, she said, Nana, all the people are gone. Do I sage? I don't want to frighten her to come to the house.
Yeah, why don't you try smudging before, a couple of hours before she's supposed to stay with you. So if anybody is in the house, at least they're lethargic while she's there. And she must not be bringing it with her because she would talk about it being in her own house. At 3 years old, she certainly would tell you. But that would be my suggestion. Smudge, get on Zoom. Is there something in your house? Maybe you just need to have the house cleared or, do something about it. And we still have room. There's a Zoom this Friday. And there's still spaces in it, but come on Zoom and let's see what's going on for sure.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Franny says, I saw a bunch of cardinals before a family emergency. I can't help myself but to believe this was a communication from a loved one.
A lot of people really believe that when they see a cardinal, that's what that means. But everybody's got their own little. The man in Texas that I know, when he sees a hawk, he knows what that means. People do the butterflies. I even know somebody that does blue jays, and those are mean birds, let me tell you. But so yeah, and that's exactly what that could mean.
Right. And Brooke agrees, says, I never get tired from energy work. I get revitalized. People, however.
Yeah. Boy, you got that
right. Karen, yeah. Melissa says, please stand back 10 feet. Which is hilarious because before COVID, I used to joke with certain people. I'm like, back up 6 feet, you're too close to me, just because I'm not a big hugger person, And so when COVID came around and it became the thing, and I'm like, haha, now it's just not me.
Well, and that's it. That's one thing I always did when I left a house was give it somebody, a quick hug. And not anymore. I can't do that. So funny. This is the way the world is now. This is what we have to do.
Right. Well, and what's funny, I'm usually pretty good at keeping everything protected and some people that are really, really sensitive, I guess, when they feel that the first impression a lot of times is that I'm mean, unapproachable, bitchy, because I just kind of what is this first? And they're like, well, once we get to talk to you, you're not that bad. And I'm like, well, thanks. Thanks. And also, if I'm in the store, I'm probably got a list of things running in my head, 3 or 4 people asking me questions, phones ringing. My mind's in 6 different places. So, and a lot of times I'll stop and I'm like, I must look hilarious to people because I'm like, if you could see the shifting in the gears of what I was just thinking versus what you just asked me versus oh, what? Say that again.
Now put that with a husband and wife sitting across from you, asking questions about the 2 ghosts that are in your house. And the two ghosts that are in the house, one died in 2005, one died in 1985. They haven't talked to anybody in years. So I have four people talking at me at the same time.
That's why I'm like, I'm going to go hide back here today. I have an office and I go hide in it now. It's great.
No, me and my office don't like each other most days.
She goes, I have resting bitch face people who don't initially like me.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Yeah. No, I caught myself yesterday at that house rolling my eyes. I thought, I'm really going to have to start doing stuff with sunglasses on. So.
Do you schedule Maria? You actually would, on our website, goddesselite.com, Maria Cerna, and she's got like a little clicking button underneath her name on the Reader Healer page. So that's how you would book with her. Her next time in the store would be, I believe it's the 18th, the third Saturday, since this coming Saturday, we're all going to be out at the winery. And that's not really the place to do any sort of hypnosis work. If anybody was thinking it's too loud, too many people, too many things going on, that's not where you want to try and do that. She wouldn't let you anyway, but just save you the trip. Let's see. Oh, a lot more friends coming in as the day is going on. Karen says the sea salt bar helps. I'm the same way. Time to hide. Yeah, just so many people. Lewis says I'm the exact opposite. People find him so approachable they won't shut up. Well, now, Marianne, do you find like once the people are taught, like they just give you the whole life story? A lot of times I get that, and I'm like, I am not a certified.
Well, we catch that on Zoom though too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay. So what's your question? Well, when I was 6 years old, stop. You're 45. I don't care what happened to you when you were 6 years old. I need to know what's going on now.
They don't correlate.
I don't have time, and I don't really care. So yeah.
Let's see. Jackie says we say our house has ghosts, but we never confirmed it. Electrical things happen.
Again, you know what? Why don't you find out for sure? Call, leave a message, and I eventually will get back to you, or come on Zoom, find out immediately. Mm-hmm. And at least if you do, you can start doing something to fix it.
Right. Well, and this is also depending on how old your house is. Like, how old is the electrical? Has it been updated? The wires running through, too.
You know, houses that were even built in the 70s cannot take 3 or 4 computers going at the same time in a house if you've got teenagers and a husband and a wife. So electrical is not always ghosts. You're right, Melissa. It's the age of the house.
Mm-hmm. Everybody says you must be a good listener, Lewis. Rebecca says so much negativity around me, especially in dreams.
When ghosts speak, go to the library and just don't even bother to buy it. Just get this book. And the whole last chapter in this book tells you how to remove negative energy. The good thing is this: if you think you have it, have a friend do the little ceremony on you. You can't do it to yourself. If you don't have negative energy on you, doing the little ceremony isn't going to hurt. If you do have negative energy on you, it'll get removed. So it's a total win-win. So don't even question it. Just go ahead and do it. If you think the house has got negative energy, there's a couple paragraphs in there how to clear the house. So get rid of the negative energy. And a smudge stick does help with some negative energy. It's not 100%, but it helps a little bit.
Let's see. So there was the question about how to join Zoom on Friday. This link here will get you signed up for any of the Zooms that are open and available. But please keep in mind, you need to be in the building you have the question about. It starts 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. Please adjust if you are outside of that time zone.
Nobody under 18.
Mm-hmm.
You got kids and you want them to know about the ghost, you talk to me, get off the Zoom with me, and you tell your kids what you want them to know. That's not my job.
That's right. Can spirits take objects through the white light with them?
I can't think of one time watching anybody walk into the light that they were holding anything.
Other than a spirit cat or dog or...
Right. If I ask them to pick up a cat, dogs will usually go. I have to have them pick up a cat or something that won't go in the light. Nothing that's real. I'll never say never, but not that I've ever seen.
Let's see. And Erin, another local friend of ours, says, "Hi, I have a friend who has a ghost/spirit. Sometimes he locks her out of the house. I ordered her a quit seed. Anything we should do?"
Well, that's fine and dandy, and that's going to keep the ghost 3.5, 4 feet away from your friend. However, that's not going to stop the ghost from locking her out of the house. I mean, why would it? I mean, unless you have the seed on the door lock so it can't get close to it. That's why when this house is cleared and the seeds go over the doors, that's why a ghost can't come in, an earthbound spirit. So that's very nice of you that you bought her a charm, and she'll probably get a little relief, but he's still going to lock her out of the house.
Right.
There was a man that lived around St. Ignatius, and he had a little business. He was a hairdresser, actually. And when he would come home from work, his partner would be home sometimes, and sometimes the partner wouldn't. But when he came home by himself, every time he would go and lock the door, it would open, and somebody would push the door back. And his partner wasn't home. This man literally went, after that happened 4 or 5 times, he literally went screaming across the street to the neighbor's house because that's how scared he was. And this ghost was having a ball keeping him out of the house. Absolutely.
Just stand there with your foot on it, like, haha.
That's exactly right.
Ideas for later.
Right. Okay, here we go.
Let's see. Oh, thank you. I was like, love your kitty cat. He's sitting on the back of the chair now in the sun.
Yeah. Mine are in the sun now too.
Let's see. Trying to find some questions maybe that we have missed. Now, Marianne, you also have videos for, we've got a lot of new names in here. You also have videos that go up on your YouTube Wednesdays at 5:30.
Correct. Today's an interesting one. It's amazing to me. Ted will go to the post office and bring home the letters that, people are asking questions. I love it. I mean, that's fun, sitting here, opening them up and reading what the people's problems are. I love doing that. Look at some of these and go, really? But that's okay. They're still cool. But the ones that I'm doing today, a whole letter on a whole page of paper and an envelope and a stamp, 2 sentences. That's the question. Oh. So this is all 1 and 2 sentence questions today. Just like 15 of them.
I thought you were amping us up for another episode of the WTF letters.
Yeah. No, eventually I'll go there. But this is just 1-liners, 1 and 2-liners today. So it's pretty cool.
Maybe Ted can holler over for us, because where does Ted go when he astral travels?
What's the last planet you were at, Ted, when you did your little astral traveling? Mars. He went to Mars last.
Has he been in Nibiru? Where is that planet?
And what did you find on Mars, Ted?
Not a whole lot.
Not a whole lot. You couldn't what?
Couldn't find the rover.
Couldn't find the rover anywhere.
Did you find the penis that the rover made on the?
I don't know. Did you see the penis that the rover made on the dirt? No, must have blew away.
How about that pyramid they say that's on there, and all of the stupid conspiracy?
He's shaking his head. No.
Okay.
See anything. And Mars must be just full of men anyway, right?
What's that?
Mars must be full of men anyway. Why didn't you go to Venus and just see the women?
I want to go to the planet of bloodlusty women with white shoulder blades.
What?
He's trying to figure out which planet has the loud, lusty women with wide shoulder blades. Isn't that where Wonder Woman came from?
He was looking for the planet that had no lions.
Wow. And I live with him. Good Lord.
But it's amusing and it's fun.
Yeah, it's always different. Yep, always different.
Lewis says that how I employ the psychic mediums at my work. But has there ever been someone who I thought, no way in hell am I employing you? Well, first of all, everybody has to go through interview reads to go through my store or any of my events. It's not always me that you do your interview read with, but there have been people that we have turned away. Too much. All they're doing is fishing. They're trying to give me a tarot lesson. They're not actually doing the reading. They're trying to get you to give the information for them. Or they are just shy of pulling out that book and reading, what the Three of Cups is supposed to be. So I'm like, no, not right now. So we have turned a few people away. And actually this week right now, I'm probably going to be flooded with phone calls from a lot of the local readers who want to get in on the winery thing. And that'll be a lot of, nope, I don't have time to interview you. And we are full. I've got 27 out there for this. And we've extended the hours 3 to 10 because when we were doing 5 to 10 for all those years, Marianne, by 6:30, everybody's completely booked and full.
You can't, if you're not there before 2 hours before to get on a list, you're not going to get it.
Yeah. So we've added.
I'm fine because I just sit there and talk to you. You don't have to pay to see me. But
right.
People that you want an actual reading for, get there early because you need to sign up.
Yeah.
Whether the weather is good or bad, they're going to come out. Believe me.
Yeah. We've only been rained on that one time.
Yeah, but still, we're there. They were there.
We have been doing the anti-rain dance now for a couple of weeks and, finger shaking at the sky. Don't you even think about it. But to be clear, Marianne will not be with us this Saturday. It's in September when we do the winery again.
That's the one I'll be at. This month, I'll be at the store on the 25th at Goddess Elite. It's a meet and greet from like 1 to 4 and then doing a talk next door starting at 6. A paid talk. So haven't had one of those for a while. At least we have a lot of room for it now. So this is good.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, somebody was asking if Ted saw a Dollar General or a Taco Bell or Starbucks on every corner.
No food stores on any of these planets, huh, Ted? No.
Amanda is giving the suggestion, maybe one of our book clubs, a book on astral projection. So, Marianne, if you know a good book on that, we can write that down at some point. So I look for one of my many pens that are never near me when I need one. There we go.
Yeah, that would be, let's see if we can't find one on that. That's a good idea. I know we're doing one on, which Melissa's so happy about, but we're doing one on Mercury retrograde, a book on it. And we're doing the book during a Mercury retrograde. So that should be pretty cool. That's what I think. September.
I'll be the one in the back going, bullshit.
Yeah, right.
Bullshit. I'll behave. I'll just sit there and nod like.
Just keep your head down so nobody can see your faces.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Sandy asks, are our loved ones more apt to see us when we visit the cemetery, or does it matter?
No, they are not apt to see you at a cemetery. Cemeteries are for the living, for us to go to pay our respects to the people that have died. But if they want to see you, they'll pop in the house. They'll show up on your birthday. They'll show up for holidays. Uh, if you fish and they were a fisher person, they'll go fishing with you. Days that you really think about somebody that died for no apparent reason, it's usually a day they're visiting. Or if you see them in a dream, you know they were around visiting. So,
So there's a few questions on quincees. Somebody asked if any quinceed from anywhere, do they all work as well as the ones they give?
no, unfortunately not. The seeds that I give out when a house is cleared or that are in the charms to keep the ghosts away from you come from my relatives in Italy. Many, many times I have no idea what they do to them. They just do some energy work. And as long as they're on every door, I never do your house again, as long as you keep the seed where it belongs. So, and I know there's other things that people use. The church will put holy water and palm leaves, and Native American Indians use tobacco leaves, and you have the horseshoe. So there's all kinds of things that people use. This is the only thing that I know that works 100%. And I know I'm going out on a limb and saying that, but an earthbound spirit can't move them. Other people can move them, little folk can move them, but not an earthbound spirit.
And there is a quinceed in every one of the dream bags.
Yes. And that's what people have been getting off of Zoom, because the seed is in there. So once we clear your house because of Zoom, then you can put your seed up and your house will be protected for as long as you're there.
Let's see. I feel like a lot of people are very stubborn in the spiritual community. Have you two ever came across someone who refused to listen to you?
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. And all you just say is good luck, have a good day, and you leave, because there's just no way you're going to change their mind. And that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if people don't believe. It doesn't make any difference to me. Jokingly with you, Melissa, and the Mercury retrogrades. I mean, you joke about it, and I'll never change your mind. And that's fine. That's your opinion. And that's the way I look about it with ghosts. When I used to teach the curse removal classes many, many years ago, which is actually the workbook is in When Ghosts Speak. That is the actual workbook from the curse removal classes. And it's very simple. Somebody's sitting in front of you. You have your hands on their shoulders. You bring white light up from their floor, up through their body, pushing the negative energy up through the top of the head, out to the universe. Let the universe take care of it. This man took the class, and I called him down to remove negative energy from one of the other participants. And he stood there, and I'm backing off, and I'm watching what he's doing. He's doing everything he's supposed to be doing, except when he put his hands on the person, I'm watching him pull white light down instead of pushing white light up. And I remember saying to him, "Why are you doing it that way?" He goes, "Because I want to."
Oof.
Well, fine. You do it your way then.
But it's still works, right?
Right. That's what works for you. So again, that's why I always say what works for one person may not work for somebody else. That doesn't mean they're right and I'm wrong, or I'm wrong, right, and they're wrong. It's just the way it is. So
yeah. And I mean, in all, we do joke about Mercury.
Yeah.
It's funny to me, but I'm not like, oh my God, it's
Yeah, right. I mean, it's not that, don't tell me there aren't times you're considering it. especially with the communication you've had in the last 6 weeks. Don't tell me. And you did all that communicating during the Mercury retrograde, but we won't bring that up.
Nope, because that's just the hospital. That's just them. There's too many chefs in the kitchen.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Let's see. I think the only time that I've ever had a steadfast, like, it was a reader who suddenly went from being just a tarot reader to somebody who was now psychic and medium, like literally overnight, and could also read your mind. Sit there and argue with me about what number I was supposedly thinking. And when I said, no, that is not correct, because honestly, I wasn't even thinking a number. Yes, it is. No, and we're done. We are done here. So
it's like the guy that sat there when his mother and his wife were there clearing a house, and he just sat at the bottom of the steps and he didn't say anything, and he was sitting there with his arms crossed. I knew he was just being an old grouch, never asked me one word. And when it was all done, right before I let the 2 ghosts that were in that house go, I said, any more questions from you, anybody? And he says, I got a question. I thought, oh, good, here it comes. And he said, I want to know what happened in my bedroom last night. I went, whoa. He went, no, but something happened in my bedroom last night. So this is the thing. If a ghost is in a room when something goes on and they see it, they know it. If they weren't in the room, they don't know it. So I looked at the 2 ghosts that were there, and the one ghost was laughing. And I looked at her and I said, oh, you know what went on? She goes, I do. And I said, what happened? He had 2 cats. He got up at 2 o'clock in the morning to go to the bathroom, came out of the bathroom to get back in bed, and stepped in a pile of cat puke. The ghost just thought this was hilarious. So I'm laughing as she's telling it to me, and I'm sort of looking at him, and now he's looking at me. And the only thing I said to him was it really hard cleaning cat puke from between your toes? I thought the man was going to pass out. So sometimes you can do something about it. Other times it's like, no, nobody was in the room. I don't know. They don't know what happened.
Let's see. It's the evening of wine and spirits at John Christ Winery in Avon is where we'll be. Let's see. Pretty good point, Patrick. Marianne, I think people don't understand that you're not psychic. If the ghost can't tell you what's going on, you can't tell them what's going on.
Thank you, Patrick. You understand 100%. You're right.
And I'm getting some recommendations here for astral projection books.
Oh, good.
Making a note to write these down before they get lost in the forever of comments. Let's see. Somebody was like, Melissa will be sitting in the back screaming, bah humbug. Like, I'll just hold up the little sign.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Yeah. No.
There you go.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, thank you, Christine. The new little extra extended area that we use now for the classes and workshops.
It's very nice.
And at one point I saw Lewis said he was going to be packing a full suitcase to take over into the light with him because he doesn't know what the weather's going to be like and he wants to be prepared.
Well, gee, he can go anywhere with anybody and anything he wants once he goes into the light. He can get a whole new wardrobe once he goes into the light. He doesn't have to worry about it. All the glitter and glitz he wants. I will.
And very true. If a spirit isn't cleared, you can end up trapping them in the house, especially because we've had a few people on Zoom where they go and get the seeds or the dream bags and they just go ahead and hang them up.
Without
All
checking
of
it first. Right. It's like, no, don't do that. But you're right, Jane. You have to be careful.
They said, should we do a book club on astral travel? And that's what we're kind of writing down some recommendations on. So
Right. That's what we're looking for, Renee.
let's see. Okay, I think I might be caught back up. Oh, Goth says the weather's always great in higher dimensions. You won't need a suitcase.
Good. That's a good one.
So Karen says, pack light.
Yeah, right. Real light.
Not really. I don't really have ghosts.
No, you don't have any ghosts around you. And the store is definitely clear. More people came up to me the last time I was at the store. It's like, do I have any ghosts with me? It's like, they may be waiting out in your car, but they can't come in here because it's protected. Oh,
Right.
Yep.
And what's funny is the few times in like how many years, Marianne, that, and it's always when I've been traveling or like when I first moved here, and you can go back and watch that almost about a year now, because I've been here almost a year. You can watch our live on that because there were a few problems in here before everything was settled in, and you can go watch that.
Crazy old woman.
Right. Well, and that younger guy that I purposely trapped in here for a little while.
Oh, that's right.
with
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play that game.
So we could keep them.
But and then the Airbnb in Florida that Sandy and because I may or may not listen to too much true crime and watch too much true crime, that feeling I had of being like watched, and wasn't because like, oh, it's a ghost. I was like, there are cameras in this apartment here somewhere. Look, where are the cameras? And trying to like look for hidden cameras without freaking out, my travel companion. And then she secretly was like, do you feel like we're being watched? I'm like, yes.
But why would you ever think it's a ghost?
That's what I do. But yet so when we were in Tucson this year for the gem buying trip, one of the warehouses at the end of the day, we were all talking about where we wanted to go eat. And the lady was like, oh yeah, just make sure you're kind of out of this area before like dark. And my mind went, oh, we're in desert near native, like skinwalker, like cool. Like what kind? And she's like, oh no, hon. She's like, it's just a bad area, people with guns and drugs. And I'm like,
So who are you more afraid of, that or a ghost? There
right.
you go.
I'm like, man, I was hoping for a skinwalker.
Right.
But yet when there really is the ghost, I'm like, ooh, a human with a camera, is watching the inside of their Airbnb.
Having a camera in a room is more now because there's cameras everywhere that it would be expected. I mean, people are smart enough now. They'll go, now is it a camera or a ghost? But there are cameras everywhere. You can't. I was thinking the other day, anybody that tries to pull anything that is illegal, you're going to get caught on a camera somewhere. Mm-hmm. I don't know how anybody can get away with anything anymore. I mean, the only place that they legally can't put cameras in public places is bathrooms. Hotels can't put them in bathrooms. Nobody's allowed to put a camera in a bathroom. If they do, you go to prison for peeping. So you can't do that. But any other room is fair game.
Right. Good question. Are there people by nature who repel ghosts?
No, I don't believe that, because I think the harder you try not to get a ghost, that sometimes you're putting out so much energy to stop a ghost that is almost like a beacon. It's like, oh yeah, mister, I'll get you. So yeah, I don't think there's any way to repel it. The only thing, like I said, the Quincy is the only thing I know that works 100%. And they do get angry if they can't get close to you. That gal that bought somebody for a friend that's being locked out, how much is she going to believe you when she still keeps getting locked out? So it's people believe what they want to believe.
Right. Um,
Oh,
right on, Amanda. You can use the Quincy's to trap sexy ghosts, like that one that you told everybody about. How many weeks can we reference that?
So we got to stop this.
Are you blushing, Marianne?
Nah, yeah, probably. We just got to stop that. This is, the nuns are in here. Believe me, I was with nuns too many years.
Did you ever see that book? How many years ago now? It's been a minute. Back when I was in Tower City Borders. It was called Don't Chew Jesus.
No.
I got my mom a copy because she went through
Oh,
Catholic.
we weren't allowed. When we got Holy Communion, that was, you couldn't chew Jesus.
Right. So
There
there were all
was a book about it.
there are all these stories of people through Catholic school and all of the things and that they got away with, or they saw the nuns do, or what you weren't supposed to, like don't chew Jesus. So it was actually pretty funny. I got my mom a copy of it.
Well, if somebody had gone to communion, because we had to go to mass before every class. I mean, we were like 6:30, 7 o'clock mass every day of school. And then we would have breakfast and the classes would start. And because you couldn't have anything to eat back then from midnight on if you were going to communion. But if somebody went to communion and then puked, the janitor would come out with this special pink stuff. I don't know what this pink stuff was, and throw it over it.
All schools had that, yeah.
And then the priest had to come down and scoop Jesus out of the puke. And it's like, oh my God. It just wasn't worth it.
Scoop Jesus out of the puke.
Oh, the host was there.
Just let the Christ checks go out in the trash with the rest of it.
Stop.
Okay, everybody, that is today's takeaway. Scoop Jesus out of the puke.
Oh, I'm going to go to hell. I just know I'm going to go to hell.
This needs to be a greeting card. Where's Debbie Draws Funny? I need her to draw this card. Where's Debbie? Debbie, are you on today?
Oh my God.
Yeah, see,
we're done. It's after 11. We're really done today.
He Ben's a teacher and he says that his school still uses the pink stuff.
Oh my gosh.
There we go. See, Amanda, see? Writing the book with that title.
Just don't ask me for a referral because I'm not giving it to you.
Inspired by Marianne.
No.
Oh, let's see.
Oh,
The Christ checks doesn't agree with that person. Oh, that comedian, what's his name? Dane Cook. You go find one of his earliest, and I forget what the name of it was. He talks about, Christ checks in, start the day the holy way.
no, I've never heard that either, and I don't want to know anymore. It's okay.
Hey, even Disney World uses the pink stuff.
It took me forever to figure out how they figured black patent shoes couldn't be worn when you had a uniform on because you could see up the skirt. It took me a long time to figure out how that worked because black patent shoes.
Let's see.
Like a mirror.
On that note,
we're done. We're so done today.
Oh,
We're going to do this again next Wednesday for sure.
Right? Yeah.
Probably. It'll be fine.
You're just gonna have to go back and probably watch them.
We're not. There's no repeat on that. No.
Oh, let's see. All right, everybody. So make sure you catch Marianne's video tonight at 5:30. Shouldn't laugh so hard.
Have a really good week, everybody. And I'll see people on Zoom on Friday. Please come on. Let's see what's going on in your house.
It's called Faux Band.
Oh, jeez, there's a name for it.
Bye, guys.